In my opinion, the worst thing Stephen Hawking ever did was tell everyone that Atomic Robo had a sleep function when he went on a moon mission, and he didn't actually have a sleep function. So Atomic Robo had nothing to occupy himself with on the moon.
Oh yeah.
My worst thing I hate most about Stephen Hawking is when he would yell, "Robo wants Oreos." Oh no, that was Peter Weller on RoboCop.
What's his past? Like, how did he
Stephen
end up
Hawking?
where
He fought a guy named Bane, and Bane fucking broke his back.
Like, I don't know.
His neck.
Like,
his neck, sorry.
In 30 seconds or less, what was he?
He had like MS or W.
His Lou Gehrig's disease.
One of those 2-letter.
His Lou Gehrig's disease. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
He used to play baseball a lot, and he got Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah, exactly.
So less than 30.
Yeah.
But he was also a big physicist. But his physicists, his biggest claim to fame that actually mattered
was that movie he did.
Oh, well, it's his proponent. He was a proponent for what became known as Hawking radiation, which was before that everyone believed that black holes were the end of entropy. So basically, everything is like when entropy is that like things move towards disorder, right? Generally, like things want to disapparate, things want to like spread out in a system. And the black holes are the opposite. Black holes are the end of entropy because everything is crunched into one thing. It all becomes one thing that can never escape. But Hawking discovered some formulas that suggest that black holes radiate matter away very slowly, but they do. And that would continue entropy and would make sense because otherwise it'd be difficult to reconcile with the universe that can never move towards the flow of time wouldn't make much sense if black holes were allowed to continue fighting entropy forever, infinitely. And that also would have suggested that the big crunch theory is true, which is the idea that eventually the universe will stop expanding and the gravity will
the theory was that Captain Crunch always fucks up the roof of your mouth. Which is
and
true.
then, everything, then all the gravity will pull everything back together and it would cause another crunch, which would cause another black hole or another big bang. But all of the research that's shown so far indicates that will never happen. And
we'll all be dead anyway. So it doesn't matter.
We're approaching. So the theory of heat death of the universe appears to be true in that eventually there will be heat death. Everything will be perfectly spread apart at some point.
Spread apart.
Then finally, peace.
Finally, peace.
Dude. Finally.
Then finally God will have his assignment graded and he'll probably get a low score. Yeah. Because the teacher will be like, you made a really bad universe.
Maybe try again next time.
These primates are stupid.
Did you see that The Onion took our joke, Dan?
Wait, which one?
The joke that this universe is actually like made by a god who's like a bad student. Like The Onion,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, The Onion took that joke and was like, God worried that someone will that someone will discover his universe is just bad science project. So like that.
I mean,
that works.
Yeah.
I was mishearing you earlier when you said assignment. I was like thinking, like, what is this weird organization you're talking about? What?
The Talamasca assigned God to created a universe.
Well, this is all related to Star Trek in some
well, it's all with space and spreading things apart, if you know what I mean. I want to say this. I haven't said it in a while, dude. But you know what? Fuck you guys. What I really want to say was, hey, if you're a new listener,
enough.
I know I have said it recently enough. I do want to say this. If you're a new listener, hey, welcome. Hopefully this isn't your first episode. This is a weird episode to start off with. But maybe this is your first episode, or you're a fan of
what are you doing here?
Lwaxana?
Maybe you're like, Lwaxana's first episode in Deep Space Nine.
And you're a big fan. That's why you're here. Then congratulations. But look, we're not.
What's wrong with you?
We're not for everybody. Look, if you are easily offended, or you're a fan of Lou Gehrig's disease, we're going to be shitting on a lot of things like that, dude. We hate Lou Gehrig's disease here, dude. And we hate a lot of things. We're very opinionated. If you're coming here for facts, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, like speaking of facts,
92% of the time, We're wrong all the time.
I have a feeling someone's going to be like, "You idiot! That's not how Hawking radiation works. Hawking radiation has nothing to do with entropy." And you know what?
Sure that will happen.
You're probably right. This is just me having some sort of weird recollection.
Marvin was just ranting. He's just making it up, dude.
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking didn't even study black holes, dude. He studied Lou Gehrig's disease. He named it. That was his favorite baseball
it was named
player.
after him, Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was his favorite baseball player.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway. So don't come here for facts. Don't come here for fucking look. We're just here we're here for a good time, not a long time. All right. We're watching Star Trek for the first time. Some of us have seen it, but forgotten about it. I have never seen it. And I'm confused most of the time with names. I've come to the realization that anything that I've watched, I can retain. Mm-hmm. I can tell you a lot of things, dude. Like this. I rewatched Tampopo? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah, Tampopo. Yeah. Fucking love it.
Oh, my gosh.
Sober.
Marvin's favorite movie.
Well, I watched it sober this time because I had seen it before.
Okay.
And I've seen this movie a few times.
And you didn't remember shit about it.
I didn't know Ken Watanabe was in this.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's one of the leads.
He's one of the first guys you see.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And his little anecdote is the very first anecdote of the movie where he's learning how to eat ramen from the master. Yeah. And the joke is nobody in the movie eats the way the master tells them to eat.
Yeah. Also, it made me want ramen.
Oh yeah,
that movie absolutely makes you want ramen.
Yeah,
the next day I was like, we got to get some fucking ramen.
When the Criterion remaster came out, me, Sarah, and Dan watched it together in a theater, and after we're like, we gotta get some ramen. There's got to be.
There's
ramen
no way you
around here
can't.
somewhere. Yeah,
if you're going to watch Tampopo, you have to prepare to eat ramen as well.
Yeah.
In fact, you gotta schedule it that way.
Eat something tasty in general, because there's lots of good looking food in the movie. You know,
I guess that's true. Just have it be something from the movie, though.
What's the difference between a soup and like
stew?
A stew, yeah.
Stew is just thicker. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh,
thicker, bit chunkier.
All right.
Yeah.
More cushions for the push.
Yeah, soup
I've never heard of a noodle stew. Have you?
Yeah, there's in Vietnamese food you can get a beef stew that has not pho. It's like a thicker.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
It's a much thicker stew that's like very rich and it's got like carrots. And
I'm a stew and a soup guy.
Does it blind you for a day?
My mom.
We have some Vietnamese listeners. Please write in.
Yeah, let us know.
Marvin.
Here's the thing.
My mom I thought you were about to call me out for being racist. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're like, God damn it, Dan, you're doing it again.
I'm sorry, Vietnam. I don't think that all your stew blinds people for one day. It's actually a reference to a meme.
Dan, it's
the best way to punish
Vietnam,
a little girl.
We can visit Vietnam.
It's the only way. It's the best one.
The whole neighborhood agreed.
Is this so? That's the thing. I don't know how I got here, but hey, if you're an old listener, welcome back, dude. Be cool, stay cool. If you got a couple shekels, join the thing that we do, because then you join the Discord and it's fun over there.
You're doing this all out of order.
Yeah, but hey, we love you, man. Keep it up.
All right, okay. I should roll the
music.
Now
that Ricardo's done his Omni plug.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we heard DS9 music.
Yeah, it's always surprising to me when I hear it. I love this song.
We kept on veering away from watching the show.
You know what song I like? I know we like This Is Your Homie that made this.
Yeah.
But dude, let me tell you, dude, for the next series, let's try to get Cisco to do it.
Sure.
The dragon.
Yeah, let's see.
Dude,
if we
what is he doing? What is he busy doing, dude? Even
he's the dragon.
We can
He's
definitely
doing a lot of
pull
things.
that. Yeah.
Dude, he probably listened to the podcast. He's probably a big Trekkie.
No, make him collab with Nate.
Yeah. Wow, that'd be
great if we're like, like Cisco reaches out to us and he's like, I'd love to make a song for your next series, and we're like, our stipulation is you have to work with Nate.
Stranger things have happened. I would not be surprised, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nate would hate us.
Would he?
Wait, you cut this out.
I mean, that's a chance of a lifetime to me.
Yeah. Song guy?
We'll
that's
see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I would jump at the opportunity.
Yeah,
I have commissioned him to make the next song for the next thing we're
Cisco
doing.
the Dragon?
No, Nate to make the next song. But the idea I had, this is the first time I came to him with the idea. for the song. And he will require procurements of instruments that he's like, oh, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to get these instruments, but I'll figure it out.
I need to call up my friends over at Stomp.
Yeah.
So yeah, we watched The Forsaken this week, which, like we said,
when I first read this, I thought it said foreskin.
I did too, actually.
What is that? What are we thinking of? Where is our heads, dude?
I don't know. But I was waiting to see if someone else would mention it.
No, I mean, she wanted to see Odo's foreskin. That's for sure. She wanted to be like, is this foreskin real?
Here's the thing: if he's just replicating a human, he's probably replicating a human that's like
in a way, his entire form is a foreskin.
Yeah.
In fact, he has a form skin.
Yeah.
He's fully functional for sure.
Like, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
This was a weird one.
Yeah, shout out, dude. Do you have foreskin or not foreskin? Don't
Who are you even talking to?
The audience.
Email us. Let us know.
Hey, leave a comment if you're circumcised or not.
From now on, if you send an email, like a comment or something, just like
start off with circumcised or not circumcised.
UC for uncircumcised, and then a C for circumcised.
Please sign off that way.
That's definitely what I want to read in all of these emails.
But real talk,
we have to visualize it.
You guys think that like in the Enterprise or in this future, let's say, like say your parents got you circumcised, but you're like, oh, that feels like mutilation. Like I want that back. And can you get it back easily in the future? You think so?
Oh, in the future,
maybe not the original one, but some.
Yeah, I mean, they can build a.
No, a cool bionic one that has colors and designs on it.
They can like grow a full new penis for you, any size, shape you want.
So if you're not happy with what you have, you can
it emits like a sandalwood musk.
Yeah. I mean, they have things where it's like, oh, you lost an arm. Well, we can like grow a new arm, put it on. Or like when what's her name? So what
if you're not happy about
your exactly. What if you're not happy with the size?
Yeah, you can do that.
Wanted to adjust
but
a couple things.
Isn't it growing? It's going to grow your same size. That's bullshit.
Oh, you can make it bigger. I mean,
who do I talk to?
Who do I talk to? How do we get this done?
But so like the thing is, they anticipated people asking these questions because they're like, wait,
this is the first thing like science has to figure out in the future. So they're like, they're going to come to us. They're going to ask us for.
So Gene Roddenberry actually anticipated people being like, wait, if you can like grow limbs and like replace eyeballs, because that's apparently one of the potential like procedures for Geordi is to literally grow new eyeballs for him.
Really?
Yeah, so they were like, wait, if you can do that, then why would Jean-Luc Picard be bald? That seems like, a really easy fix. Yeah, and basically Gene Roddenberry was like, well, we live in a future where people aren't this insecure anymore about things like that. So
that's bullshit.
Which was a great gotcha at the time.
We know that's not true. Come on now.
Yeah.
This episode proves it.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah.
Literally.
If anything,
he feels like super insecure about the way.
You know what? In a weird way, my tangent brought us back around, dude.
It did. It really did, actually.
Yeah. I gotta toot my own horn, dude.
Good job.
I gotta
toot your own bionic horn that you got installed.
I want my dick to when I climax, I want it to go ooga ooga.
While it's inside. Oh my god, that's so weird. Imagine you're getting a blowjob that way. That's happening into their mouth.
It sounds like a Model T horn, you know. Shout out to Henry Ford for fucking our shit, dude.
We need to bring those back, dude.
Yeah.
Was that how it normally was, or
back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. That one was the one that was driven by what's his name? The trumpet player. What's his name?
Yeah.
It's a wonderful world.
Good old Satchmo. Yeah.
God.
They had a recording of Satchmo in every Model T.
I see Model T's drive.
Why are we like this?
What are you talking about?
The foreskin first aired.
Guys, you know what I love?
May 23rd of 1993.
I love wallets. I like foreskin
No,
wallets.
not yet. God
You're
damn
doing
it.
this
Sorry.
completely out
Jesus
of order,
Christ.
you
I was
bitch.
trying to bring you guys back.
No,
We don't like
the
wallets. Sorry, wallets are shit, dude. We fucking hate them here, dude.
I'm not even doing the extra spot this episode.
Oh shit,
goddammit.
dude. We like the
Okay,
internet,
throw in the
though.
hole.
Yeah.
The foreskin first aired on May 23rd of 1993. Dan, please, let's enter the wormhole so we can figure this out.
That's where I was going with that. All right.
Yeah.
So on May 20th, Seinfeld aired its 2-part, hour-long 4th season finale titled The Pilot,
Oh.
which is when they made a TV show about themselves called Jerry.
Oh.
And weirdly enough, the pilot led directly into a finale, because Cheers aired its final 98-minute episode immediately afterward, and it was the second highest rated TV finale of all time. Apparently, NBC reported that it had an audience of 93 million viewers, which would have been about 35% of the American population of the time.
Whoa, shit.
Yeah, pretty big. And then on May 21st, Hot Shots Part 2, directed by Jim Abrahams of Airplane fame, is a second action parody movie. You know, we had Hot Shots before.
Yep.
He also wrote the Kentucky Fried Movie, and even later on, I don't know if we brought this up before, Scary Movie 4, I forgot.
Really?
Yeah, so
even-
he kept on doing it. He did
got
pass
back in
away
the
last
game with-
year.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
but he kept at it for a while.
All right.
Kentucky Fried Movie is one of the funny. I watched it like before I was 18. I like it as a 13-year-old.
I've never seen it myself.
It
I've seen
is-
Airplane, but not that.
It is one of the funniest things if you're a teenager.
I'll bet.
But nowadays, I feel like teenagers have Jackass. I feel like Jackass has like now, you know, like so for me, Kentucky Fried Movie was something from the past that I was watching. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think Jackass has enough years, like 20 years on it, that like they're like, remember when these dudes were just doing this and just annihilating their fucking testicles in the 90s? I
Right?
feel like that's what it is to them.
Oh my
So,
god.
Yeah.
No. Jackass is a new Kentucky Fried
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
All right. The last thing I had was the actual box office winner of the week, and it only won it for 1 week, and it was an erotic thriller named Sliver, starring Sharon Stone and Billy Baldwin. It was a tale centered around the sexy and murderous goings-on in a really thin New York apartment building,
Yep.
which is why it's called Sliver.
Okay.
Okay.
I remember this movie. This is a very erotic movie, dude.
So Sharon Stone made an erotic movie before
Yeah.
Basic Instinct.
It was
Okay.
after Basic Instinct,
Yeah.
but before Basic Instinct 2.
Well, Basic
Oh.
Instinct 2 came out like 20 years after, I think.
Yeah,
So
like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Not
Sliver? Sliver,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Not to be confused with Slither.
It's a lesser
Yeah.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Look,
please.
You know
Lesser
what?
Baldwin.
Yeah. Here's the
I
thing
like
about the
referring to them
Baldwins.
like constellations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so funny because
It's a
I just
Baldwin
watched-
minor.
I
Yes,
just
that's-
watched. It's true. I watched The Getaway with Steve McQueen,
Mm-hmm.
and then I watched The Getaway, the remake with Alec Baldwin.
Uh-huh.
And first of all, none of the Baldwins are like tough enough looking like Steve McQueen
No.
was.
No.
You know?
No.
Sure.
Yeah, and also like the Steve McQueen movie, weirdly,
I don't know.
Is
One of them, I
really-
heard one of them killed a guy.
one of the Steve McQueens.
Well,
There's
one
only
of the
one-
Baldwins. Yeah.
One of them did.
Yeah.
Who hasn't, dude? You know what I mean?
I guess.
So I just want to say that the Baldwins are okay, but they're not the best, dude. You know, the Baldwins are best when they're not leading. When they're like a co-star, like in The Departed, Alec Baldwin's amazing. But when he's a lead, I feel like I'm not a big fan. You know,
I kind of hate him in the Departed.
oh my god, you hate everything, dude. If
I
there's
hate
no
everything
soup in
that's
the
bad.
movie,
Yes.
if there's no soup, you don't like the movie, dude. You're like, there's no soup in this movie.
It's true. I like things that aren't good. It's true.
Yeah,
No, it's true that Marvin likes things that include soup.
yeah.
It's
You like the
true.
movie In the
Yeah.
Soup with
Yeah.
Seymour Cassell.
He really does.
Yeah,
What about Bowling for Soup? Is there soup in that movie?
yeah. What about soap? What if it's close enough? The word.
I'm just
or
I'm like
if
a dog.
you rearrange
I'm like-
it, you get sopa, and then you're back in soup territory.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, that concludes our trip through the hole.
Yeah.
Well, let's start our trip through our sponsors, because you know what? One of them is ExpressVPN. And you know what? Not only is the ExpressVPN a super fast VPN, it's also super secure, because when you had other governments try to hack into them, not hack into them, they like subpoenaed them. We're like, hey, what's
They
going on?
put their penises on them.
yeah, can we see your records? Blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
they're like, we don't have any records because you know what? We don't keep any activity logs. We
Yep.
don't keep any connection logs. All that shit.
If ExpressVPN was circumcised or uncircumcised, we wouldn't know. They wouldn't know because their
Mhm.
logs would be gone.
They could
Yeah,
be trying
yeah.
to tell us, and we wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah, yep. And yeah, they have 3,000 plus servers in 160 locations spanning 105 countries. Works on pretty much every device you can think of. If you have a device, there's an app for it. And it actually works with Netflix and other streaming services because they keep rotating their IPs, so no blacklist can really keep up. And it has a bunch of other cool stuff built in. We don't talk about this one very often, but has a kill switch built in, so in case something disconnects unexpectedly or whatever, ExpressVPN actually blocks all traffic to make sure
Yeah.
nothing leaks.
Like if you're trying to watch Star Trek, the Triple X parody, but,
Yeah.
you know, you're at work maybe in your lunch, and you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't want them to find out, but you're in the work Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
ExpressVPN,
exactly.
dude. You don't want them.
Yeah.
You don't want an HR fucking letter coming in and going, "Were you watching Star Trek?" And you're
Yeah.
like, "Well, maybe that sounds like me." A Triple X parody, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, yeah."
Without me?
Well,
You know?
yeah.
But yeah, then also, if you sign up for 2 years when you go to expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek, not only will you get an additional 4 months for free, but they'll also include the entire Identity Defender suite. And this includes a bunch of cool stuff like a password manager, advanced protection, which includes an ad blocker. The ad blocker is actually really sick. Tracker blocker, etc. ID alerts for when your sensitive information is detected on the dark web. So they're like, oh shit, your passwords leaked. Change them now.
Yeah,
They found
that's
them.
useful.
And also it comes with ID theft insurance, which is pretty neat, and a credit scanner, kind of like what Credit Karma does. And only available when you do the 2-year plan is the data removal service, which is pretty neat. Basically,
Bruce
it's kind of
Wayne
like
invented
it's kind of like Delete Me or like Optory or companies like that, where basically they go around to all these data collection harvesting companies and tell them, hey, get your goddamn dirty hands off of this guy's information.
Yeah,
And it turns out you have to like do that like routinely, because if you don't, like they'll just quietly reattain that info. It's so fucked.
Well, here's
actually,
the thing. Here's the thing, Marvin.
Yeah.
You have to do the same thing though. Like, don't change your habits.
No.
That way. What are they selling? They're selling the same information. I mean, you can't make money off of the same thing. I'm still looking at the same stuff on Pornhub. You know what I mean?
you just watch the same porno over
every day,
and over
every
again.
day, Groundhog Day.
Every
for you,
day
dude.
at 4 p.m. he watches the same like
Yep.
nuns
If
butt
you're-
fucking porn.
Every
He
single
only
day,
watches-
you're watching the flowers of time.
To the flowers
Yeah.
of time.
And he's like, and then
Like
randomly,
the reason why I bring that up is because you said "damn dirty hands," and it just made me think of "I'm so proud of you," Nathaniel. And that's why I was laughing.
I want them to do to just be like, and then at 6 p.m. he randomly watches this video of this Australian guy, and he's about eating a succulent Chinese dinner.
He'll watch it on loop for hours before.
I don't know what he's doing
before
over
his
there.
own dinner.
Yeah, and then
And
he
he'll
looks
mouth
up.
the words.
Yeah, and then he looks up how to make chicken teriyaki every day. How does he not remember it?
It's not even Chinese.
Oh my god.
He's mistaken chicken teriyaki as Chinese food for the last 2 decades.
Hey, that was very easy to do in the 90s / late 80s. I don't know when it was recorded.
And he also looks up how to make the Benihana rice.
El Panda Express still does it.
Yeah. They're doing it right, dude.
I
Those
love
Pan Express
Panda.
people.
Yeah.
You could tell me Pan Express.
They used to try to
babies.
call it Mandarin and they gave up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
you could
it's true.
say that Pan Express does war crimes, and I'd be like, well, you gotta separate the artist.
From that,
That one got Dan.
So head on over to expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek. And if you sign up for 2 years, not only will you get 4 months for free, you'll get the entire Identity Defender suite as well, which is pretty sick. You know what's also pretty
It
sick?
sounds like a Marvel movie or something.
What? Pretty sick.
Identity Defenders Suite.
I mean, there is a Marvel
Sweet.
team called the Defenders. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Which I think we watched, Sarah. I think we watched it together. No, Dan and I watched it remotely.
No,
like,
I
quietly.
didn't watch that.
Yeah,
What did we watch?
The Defenders.
Star
Remember
Trek.
we watched it?
We watched it
Triple
all
X parody.
together.
Oh, we did? We watched it all together?
Oh
Yeah.
my god, you guys.
Me?
Oh,
I
is
spent
that
the
one of the
weekend
ones?
and we watched it all.
Oh,
Is that the
my
one where you
God,
came over
dude.
and we watched it?
Yeah, and we all laughed at the keyboard, or I laughed at the keyboard typing.
Oh yeah, the lady of the fucking Dan Rand's corporation, and she's like an actor who's like, they're not going to catch me typing on the keyboard.
But it is the
the-
worst acting typing.
The shot
in the
is
world.
wide enough to catch her just like.
Oh yeah.
And it's in like a close up
I
as a
kinda remember
result
that.
because it's right next to her hands.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me so mad that you can't make a short about this.
Yeah, but why can't they? Why did no one catch that on set? Like, you're looking at a monitor. They cared so little. But yeah, our next sponsor is House of Wise. You know what? House of Wise, luxury
Martin's been
CBD
enjoying
brand.
them.
I will say there was a night a few
Oh my
weeks
god,
ago.
you've been getting erotic, Marvin?
No, well, what happened was I was feeling pretty sick.
Oh,
And I just couldn't rest. Like, it's one of those
Restless.
six where, like, yeah, restless plus, I'm a generally already anxious person. So,
Yeah.
like, feeling sick in that way made me feel like, oh, I can't sleep. And I used one of their sleep CBD gummies. And boy, that knocked me out for like 12 hours. I was like, just knocked out. Just
so
pretty
you can
sick.
rest.
Yeah, so that did help me rest. But they have products like gummies and like pre-rolls and like little candies and chocolates and candles and stuff for other things too, including stress relief, strengthening, like because sometimes
Yeah,
people
what are the
use it to
candles for,
work
though?
out. For like stress relief. You're like, oh, I'm having a bad day. I put on the candle.
For vibes?
Yes, for vibes, stress
Okay.
relief vibes, and they have stuff for libido as well. So it's a wide range of CBD products covering a wide range of issues. All products are cruelty free, and House of Wise itself is a woman-owned business. So that's pretty
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
So you can head on
Yeah.
over to houseofwise.co/newbie Star Trek with Newbie Star Trek in all caps. And if you like what you see, you can buy something and use our promo code Newbie Star Trek, again in all caps, one word, and that gets you 10% off your entire order, which is pretty sick. And also, if you order anything above $69,
Hell yeah.
it's free shipping. It's pretty neat. So again, head on over to houseofwise.co. Use our promo code Newbie Star Trek, all caps, one word, for 10% off your entire order.
You know what House of Wise sounds like? It sounds like a Game of Thrones house, like House of Wise, and they
Kind of, yeah.
They show up to deliver your fucking weed on a fucking dragon.
Yeah.
It does sound like that, actually.
Right?
Yeah, it's blowing CBD smoke everywhere.
Yeah. It blows like fire out of its nose, but it's lighting weed on fire.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, dog.
Denise Crosby would
I get
appreciate
behind that.
Ricardo,
show.
could you please tell us what happened in this episode?
Here's the thing
Mhm.
about this episode.
Mhm.
I didn't hate Lwaxana.
Yeah,
Well, it's hard
Yeah.
to hate her in this episode.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think this is the first episode where I'm like, I like her storyline is the best part of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of everything else,
which is a
yeah.
weird thing to say. It's a weird phrase to swallow. You know what I mean?
Well,
When
they
you say it
fake
out
out
loud.
a little bit because it begins with her being really like off-putting and abrasive.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they know they're. Well, I think it's a few things. I think it's one, maybe better writers in general, or because of DS9
Wow, dude.
show
You're gonna
structure.
get some hate mail, dude.
I'm just saying. So they know how to like kind of write a character a bit better, give her a little arc.
If
But I
you're a
think
Vietnamese person who loves TNG, send your mail to Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think she's always at her best when she's emotionally vulnerable. So like the episode, I forget what it was called, but the one where she fell in love with the guy who has to kill himself.
Oh, that was also really good.
Yeah, that was pretty
That was
good.
the last time we saw. Well, maybe not the last time, but probably like the best time
I don't
so
remember that.
far.
Was he a samurai?
No,
basically, he was like a scientist, right?
he was
Who
bald and had a beard.
She
yeah,
loves bald guys, huh?
he was the one of the surgeons from
Yeah, she
MASH,
does.
or the directors from MASH. He's the bald dude. Yeah,
I don't remember this at all.
the
dude.
chunky bald dude from MASH.
But I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah,
Cogs
yeah.
was
So
from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Cogs are
he had to basically like go back and like die
Yeah,
because he had reached a certain age.
Yeah.
Yeah, his culture has a ceremony where if you reach a certain age,
I'm remembering this.
You must kill yourself.
I must have
and he was frustrated because it was like, one, he had just fallen in love with Lwaxana, so he's like, this sucks. But also from a practical perspective, the planet is trying to avert disaster, right? Their sun is going to go supernova, and he's developing a technology that prevents it from doing that. But if he kills himself, the next generation will have to like catch up to his level of expertise just to kind of start at where he's starting at, and that may be too late. So he's kind of like, idiots, just let me fix this. Like, let me live long enough to fix this.
Wasn't his daughter someone who's now...
Yeah, the Michelle Forbes, who plays Ro, was originally played his daughter, and was the one who came over to convince him, like, you gotta kill yourself, Dad. This is super fucked up.
We love you. Kill yourself now.
Yeah, you're embarrassing us all, dude.
Yeah, literally. Like, you're embarrassing us. Yeah, really? It's literally like, you're embarrassing us.
I like this culture.
You're dishonoring our family by not killing yourself.
Yeah, someone's very machismo.
Where's Mitch McConnell's daughter, dude, to say this to him?
Yeah.
But it's just like...
enough damage, sir. Go back to your shell.
But that episode in general, I think the core concept was kind of overshadowed the Lwaxana part. Like that's like none of the important part of that really had anything to do with Lwaxana, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like in this episode,
she just kind of like was a person that loved him, I guess.
Yeah, and the character could have fallen with love with anyone on the ship. It didn't have to be Lwaxana. But in this case, Lwaxana is core to making this side plot work. You know, like it really does matter that it is Lwaxana Troi and that she has this ego, and we know of a history of her having this ego, yet she's willing to be sensitive and emotionally vulnerable to put Odo at ease, which is really cool. And like, it's funny because it was like a B plot, really like a C plot, kind of just thrown into because apparently the majority of the time they were writing this episode, they were trying to get this stupid computer plot working. Which is
it's really bad.
It's so bad. It's like easily the worst part of the episode, despite it being the A plot.
It makes no sense. Like Marvin and I were watching, and we're like, this is not how computers work. I don't think. Not at
Wait, I wasn't able to confirm. Was Majel Barrett the voice of the computer in DS9 as well? Like across the board?
That's a good question.
I don't think so. The voice,
or at the very least, was she portraying any of the voices that Miles was talking to?
She's the voice. Apparently she's the voice of, I guess she is the computer voice as well for DS9. Oh,
she's all the computers.
Okay.
So
I guess
it was that reason why when Miles started playing back the computer voice, or like telling Cisco, "Listen, don't you hear it?" I was like, "Wait, are you getting at the fact that she sounds like Lwaxana? Like, what the hell?"
Yeah, what if he's like, "Wait a minute, what?
This is so meta. What is this, Family Guy?"
But
so this episode starts off, and so 4 diplomats are sent to DS9. They're just looky-loos, and they're all annoying, dude. They're all
ambassadors suck.
Yeah, this is true. Probably everywhere. I believe so. Like,
what kind of ambassadors are so undiplomatic? Like, they're just so like, you know, like they're just so prissy and like not so rude. That's like the opposite of a diplomat. Like the whole point is that they're supposed to be kind of like, big, like following cultural customs and being nice. And
why would the ambassadors do such a thing?
Yeah.
Like we need to get rid of ambassadors, dude. So they're annoying, and like one of them like is just, they're all bossy. They like want to switch rooms. Fucking just annoying people, dude. Like I wish they just should throw them off the airlock, dude, and gone. They went into the wrong room and they forgot sucked off, dude.
High maintenance.
I'll bet Cisco would have preferred that.
Yeah, dude.
He really didn't want to meet with them.
You know
at all.
how these Cardassian space stations are. You know,
yeah, they should have figured out. They should have gone to the Quacker, and the Quacker could have been like, "Don't worry, dude. I know a guy, and I'll feed him to the pigs." You know. Here's the thing. So they're all annoying, and then it's revealed that Lwaxana's on the ship, and she lost her brooch, her fucking latinum fucking.
It was stolen.
Yeah, stolen.
Yeah.
And then Odo shows up, and she falls in love with Odo, dude. She's like, "Who's this man?"
Well, Odo finds the brooch.
An act of valor. He is the one who gets the brooch back.
He finds the brooch and finds it, and so he basically figures out that, like, because she can't read the ear guys. What's their name? What are their names? Ferengi, yeah. She can't read Ferengi's minds because they're like Jedis, you know?
Yeah.
You think
I love that he went straight to that fact to help solve the crime.
Yeah. Well, he's like
use your powers, you idiot.
Yeah, these ghouls, he figured out that they were the cousins of the Ferengi, distant cousins. And they're
that mean
the guy looks he looks mad guilty though. Like I think
Watto was a Ferengi, Jason.
That's what I was about to say. Are Watto's like cousins of Ferengis too?
Yes.
That doesn't work on me.
I mean, they are all stereotypes. Like really
racial
offensive.
profiling really works in this universe.
Yeah.
Oda was right to racial profile.
When I saw Lwaxana, I thought she was going to fall in love.
I can't read your mind. Come over
here. With Cisco. Because he's bald. No, he's not bald. He's got short hair, but I thought she was into like people who are in charge. But no, she falls in love with Oda. Oh, I guess Oda is in charge. Here's the thing I noticed when they introduce her and she's like, "Oh, my latinum fucking broche."
Yeah.
I noticed this. I've noticed it since I was a kid. Always noticed this. There's actors, right? There's the lead cast, and then there's always extras in the movies, on the TV shows. And you could tell when some of the extras, it's like their first time because they're really sweaty and they're nervous, especially if they're like in front of like the main actors. And this one dude who's in back of Lwaxana while the scene's happening. And he's, first of all, he's overacting. Like he's like looking for the brooch. He's like, "Oh, what does?" But he looks like he's really sweaty. He's doing he's burning a lot of calories doing the dude.
Yeah, his eyes are also very shifty, going back and forth constantly. He's kind of what's going on? What's going on?
and I love actors like this, dude. Background actors, because they're just burning a lot of calories.
I gotta sell it.
I do appreciate the effort. I mean, He's like, I want to graduate to having a line one day, you know?
I better show them that I could fucking emote some emotion on this dang thing, you know? So anyway,
DS9's had some really good extras. Remember the lady who was like watching like Jake fist pump, and she was like,
I hope we keep finding them so we can develop like a compilation Hall of Fame.
But it's great. I think it works a lot here because Quark's bar has to be full of random people all the time, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a lot of this. I think the Quark's bar is gonna be full of fun extras.
Plus they're drunk. They're supposed to be drunk, dude. So they're like,
they're supposed to be a little rowdier. They're less reserved than on the Enterprise, where everyone's like, we're all on the clock, you know.
So first of all, she pulls on the Quacker's ear, dude, and I was like, "Oh fuck, dude, he's gonna come in his pants."
She knows the spot.
Yeah.
Well, she's like, it's like grabbing somebody by balls,
their crotch,
by the
right?
dick.
Roughly.
Basically. Yeah.
Doesn't feel so good.
She roughs him up.
Do you remember like in was it high school or middle school? People used to like tap each other's dicks or something.
What?
Yeah,
did you go
that was
to,
a thing.
You don't remember that? Like guys were doing that?
No, I
that happened at my school.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I feel like
that made it to my school.
I'm digging really
That's
deep
a universal
in my
thing,
memory.
Actually, I did this. It still happens because at our old job that Marvin and I worked at, we had another coworker, and me and him would get rowdy and sometimes a little physical. And one time I threw my keys at his crotch. It's so hard that he's like, "I don't think I could father another child." And the whole day, and then one time, and then in retaliation, he shot a Nerf dart in my eye, and that's when we started wearing goggles because I felt like I was gonna lose my eye. I was like, my eye's gone, dude, and I lost it because I threw fucking my keys at fucking somebody's testicles. And revenge.
Well, good to
you started wearing goggles, and then your crotches were safe forevermore.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I feel like I dreamed that, but like I guess that was what what guys were doing. Teenage boys were doing. They found amusement.
It just never hit my high school, I guess.
Yeah,
really?
Where were you, Marvin?
Here's the thing, Marvin.
Anyone who's anybody was tapping each other's balls and dick.
I guess the high school I went to was kind of like nerdy.
Marvin, take this into the spirit it was intended, which is an insult. You went to definitely a nerdy school, and no one was cool.
Oh, I know.
And no one was doing dick tapping stuff.
No one was dick tapping at your school. I'm sorry, but this is what that felt like. You know, she knew, exactly where to grab. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, she they find her brooch, and she's all in on Oda, dude. She wants to know everything. She's like, how do you get your hair so slick back? Which cholo taught you how to do that? Yeah.
How long can you get? How hard can
I
you
learned
get?
it from a little kid that said he was an android.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because it is basically just Data's hairstyle. Yeah.
He said he was from East LA, and he said Vato's Locos forever.
Something about flowers.
Yeah, he said
Three of them.
Three of them go best with the hair. So
to this day, I wasn't sure what he meant by that.
Oh my god!
So this dude, this lady's all in on fucking on Odo. And by the way, the doctor has to basically babysit all the ambassadors, and he's like, oh fuck, dude,
it's weird to assign the doctor to that because he's a doctor, so it's kind of weird to have because
I guess at the same time he is an officer.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lean crew. What do you expect, Marvin? Everyone's pulling double duty here.
I thought the funnier assignment may have been like Kira. And
Kira would have been pretty funny to put in there.
And also would have kind of made sense because she's like Major Kira. She's kind of like second in command.
True.
Yeah, she would have stood for any of their attitude.
No.
Well, that's what would have made it funny that she would be like so acerbic.
No, the episode would have been over, done, roll the credits.
I thought Bashir was gonna fuck Lwaxana and be like, "I'm down," I'm down to fuck.
Oh, he'd be down, yeah.
So anyway, I'm gonna get through one of the storylines really fast because it is one of the stupidest storylines we've ever.
Yeah, we haven't even brought it up yet because it sucks ass so much.
This being, there's another being that got into the computer and is causing havoc.
Oh god!
And basically, like, first of all, Brian's like, "Oh, it's gonna take me 2 years to figure this out," and it's like, God, dude, we don't have that fucking time, dude. What do you think? We're fucking just growing potatoes over here. Dude?
Well, originally that conversation about is just like, I don't like the way the computer acts. Like there's like this weird long explanation to like, when I talk with the Enterprise, it's like a waltz. When I talk with the DS9 computer, it's like a fight.
That was
and it's
dumb.
like, sure.
I don't think that's how it works, but okay.
Yeah.
So but I can imagine people talking this way about the AI models they're using.
Yeah.
I guess it's true.
It's actually somehow prophetic. It's crazy
how it works. Yeah.
So anyway, he's all this computer. All it wants to talk about is Studio Ghibli art. So they
for the record, I'm not trying to posit that is actually how our current LLMs work. It's just that how people are acting around them.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually the computer acts like our modern LLMs because or the DS9 computer starts acting like a modern LLM because it just starts lying constantly and just making shit up.
Eventually, here's the thing where like, you can tell me an erotic story because everything's leading to the fucking AI, dude. Everything's leading towards that. Yeah. In fact,
I mean, it already has. There's already people using. Yeah.
I want all the fucking smart people in the world. We don't want to know when the singularity is going to happen. We don't give a shit about that, dude. I hope it takes us. We want to know how many years till we could fuck it, dude. That's what they should. That should be like their North Star. You know what I mean?
People are already doing it. They're already using like derivations of ChatGPT to create like sexting bots that they sext with.
That's not enough,
and those
dude.
and companies are like advertising them, and then they take their information, their personal information, and sells them.
It can be compiled together.
Yeah.
Like there's also the auto blow you can throw in there.
Yeah, throw in the auto blow, throw in the vibration suit.
I can't even. I don't want to live on this earth anymore.
We're there, baby.
We're here, dude.
Done. I'm so done.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Every day it gets closer, dude, where I could raise my army of apes, dude, and we will take over. You just wait.
Why would the LLMs help with that?
They're gonna teach the apes how to talk, dude. And because I can't have these apes fucking each other.
The apes will delegate their Shakespeare writing duties to the LLM.
Exactly, dude. I need these apes to be like from like war-torn countries, dude. These guys have to
and then they can make all the money back on the typewriters they sell. To fund all of their war efforts.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited about this fucking ape war, dude. I'm on the right side of fucking history in this.
You're gonna create 2 standing ape armies and have them fight, and you're gonna be like, each ape army will be like our leader. It's gonna be like Team Fortress 2, where you're pitting
red apes and blue apes.
Pitting 2. They don't even know who they're working for, but they're all fighting each other.
Yeah,
you're in a dark room.
Some of them will be Shakespearean apes. And some of them will be Stanislavski method apes. More modern acting, you know?
God.
Yeah. We're method and like we're theatrical.
Yeah. They're like you're tearing me apart. So Lwaxana's following Odo, and you have O'Brien who's trying to get this fucking computer thing going. And here's how he solves it. He's like, "Ooh, this thing, it just wants to be where like it's a gossipy little fucking creature, dude.
It's like a puppy.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like,
they keep on calling it a puppy.
Yeah, it wants to be where all the gossip is at. So let's give it a little gossip stuff. And so he makes a little thing, and like it gets busy, and then he like traps it in, kind of like they did with Sherlock, Moriarty guy. Where they just kind of trapped him in a little thing, and they do it, and they're like, "Oh, let's get rid of him." And he's like, "No, I want to keep him. I want to play with him." And it's stupid. It doesn't. It makes no sense.
Stupid.
No,
like how can a computer be acting like a puppy? You know. Well, I guess the life form thing that attached itself to the computer is acting like a puppy. Correct.
But O'Brien was like, I downloaded it, right? So now it's no longer on the probe, and now it's on our computer. It's like that's not how downloading works. It's not like this is like written by people who don't use computers, right? So basically, it's like.
And at some point, did they just forget about the whole first contact like angle of it?
That's true.
Yeah.
You don't worry about that, Dan. This is fine. It's a puppy.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Don't worry about prime directives or anything. Bullshit like that, dude.
I wish they just got rid of this plot and just said the ship's having issues today.
Yeah. I wish O'Brien brought an old-fashioned fucking shotgun and just shot the computer. Kill the fucking thing, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
It would have been an amazing episode. It's like he's fighting the computer the whole episode. He's like, and by the end, he's so angry he replicates a shotgun, like a modern day shotgun, and just starts blasting the computer.
Just like Rambo 2. Remember when he goes back and he just shoots up all the computers? Oh, dude.
And that fixes the computer, right?
Yeah.
Because,
anyway, that was a stupid storyline. But the Lwaxana one was fun, dude. So she keeps following Odo around, and then they get stuck on like where's Odo gonna go look at? He's gonna look at some stuff, some bullshit.
A pylon. He's just trying to get away from her. Yeah,
he's trying to get away from her, and she follows him, and they get stuck looking at this stupid thing in like a weird tunnel, and. I don't know why he does this, but he goes to check on stuff right when his fucking his juice is all gone with like keeping his
they imply that
several hours prior.
Yeah, they imply he's been in there for like 8 hours, you know. So
what are they eating, dude? Each other?
It's only been 8 hours. You don't have to eat after 8 hours.
Odo said he doesn't even have like a digestive system or mouth really beyond what you see.
That makes you wonder, does Odo consume food?
He says he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He said he doesn't.
He's liquid metal though. He could consume it, but then he could just like squirt it out of his body. You know.
He said he can't even consume it because like he doesn't have the framework, the organs to like deal with it. So
then what? How does he absorb more energy?
He could store it.
He doesn't need to. He's not. That's not a thing for him.
Then Odo's actually a source of infinite energy?
Yeah,
sure. Crazy. Why not?
He's a T-1000, dude.
Maybe only whilst liquid and dormant.
Wasn't there kind of a discrepancy there where he said he needed originally, was it like 18 hours? And then in this episode, he kept saying 16. I thought it was 18.
Yeah, he originally said every 18 hours, I need to revert back to my goo form. Yeah. He says this isn't a man alone.
Right.
Well, maybe because he's been using a lot of his stamina to like.
But then everyone kept insisting that it was actually 16. And I was like, wait,
let's give him 17. Let's give him 17.
Let's cut it the middle. Yeah.
I think what happened is while writing this episode, they forgot that a day on DS9 is 26 hours instead of 24.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, isn't a day on DS9 longer than a standard Earth day?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's where they fucked up. I think they were like, oh shit, we forgot that it's 26 hours. And so they just assumed that a third of that is the 16.
Yeah.
So
right. So they just tried to account for like if Odo slept for as much as a human would as a liquid.
Yeah, and I just rewatched the exact scene from A Man Alone. He does directly say every 18 hours to regenerate.
There we go.
So,
I feel like it was a mistake.
Yeah,
maybe
I think
it's like every time I regenerate, I have 18 hours till I collapse. Maybe that makes sense to me.
So a couple of things happen. Yeah. This puppy dog, he's causing havoc in the computers. And two things happen. One is that somehow they're going down this corridor, Bashir is with the ambassadors, and it blows up. Don't know why.
They should be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just because the computers are all fucking up and so.
And they go into like a rat hole and they go in there and Bashir saves them. I'm going to skip ahead. And then, because early on, Cisco was like, if you're in the right place at the right time, you can get something out of these people, and he saves them. Bashir saves them and they give him a commendation, and so he's
which I don't
got some
like.
Kudos.
Part of me is kind of skeptical that they would do that. It sounds like the people that were walking around with him the whole episode would be more likely to be like, I can't believe this happened. This is outrageous. What kind of second-rate space station are you running here where we almost died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, it would always, as an ambassador, I'd be like, was this set up? Was this a setup? For us
was this an attempt? Assassination attempt?
Yeah. But also, was it a setup so we give him a commendation? Like, did his friends make him look good? So we give him a commendation, This is all a sham.
It was the puppy.
Yeah.
The puppy was on Julian's side.
It was a puppy all along.
And also, like, our ambassadors, do they have that much pull to be like, we can give commendations? Like, they're just ambassadors.
Well, they can by that they meant they're going to leave him a good Yelp review.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Would recommend.
Yeah, like tour guide Julian was the best.
Yes. He saved our lives and he took us to Taco Bell. So Julian gets a commendation.
Taco Bell that is definitely on the DS9 for sure.
That's all they have, dude.
Yeah.
They're on Demolition Man time.
It's Quarks and DS9. Those are the only two restaurants available.
Quarks and Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quarks and Taco Bell. It's the only two restaurants available. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I gotta get me some Taco Bell soon, dude.
No.
By the way, the decades menu is gone. They got rid of the goddamn tostada again.
It's been
fucking dude. If you work in corporate,
you can't talk about the Taco Bell menu without being outdated in like a month.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, guys.
That's true.
Let's get it together, dude. Like, here's the thing.
Does anyone here listening, do they work at Taco Bell, and is it frustrating to work there? Because I imagine
Taco Bell corporate or Taco Bell the restaurant.
Any restaurant, because I imagine
the people making the decisions.
Even corporate probably is like, oh, do we really have to make a goddamn marketing campaign for another thing that like
because if you work at the restaurant too, it's like, hey, stop. I don't want to keep learning how to make new fucking meals.
Marvin, you don't learn how to make the same things. You're just repackaging the same fucking things, dude. They just figure out how to make it a new way. And that's really.
I don't want to make it a new way. I want to make it the old way.
If you work corporate, guys, the economy shit. The world is fucked up.
Yeah.
Give us what we want, dude. Which is bring back the fucking tostada, dude. Stop fucking with our feelings, dude. Makes the tacos 69 cents again, dude. Makes the tacos and makes them 69 cents again. And I'll tell you what, dude. Riches will fall upon your corporation.
Wait, does that mean they got rid of the caramel apple empanada?
Everything.
Oh.
I apologize. I was gonna call you Rachel for some reason.
Damn.
I was gonna go everything Rachel. I was thinking of Batman Begins.
Rachel. The caramel apple empanada is going, Rachel.
No, not me. Why'd you come for me?
That TikTok meme.
Why'd you come for the empanada?
That Rachel meme. Have you guys heard of it? That Rachel.
No. What's a Rachel meme?
On TikTok. Anyway.
We're not on TikTok, dude. We don't want the Chinese knowing our secrets.
Gen Z will know.
I prefer Aaron Eckhart.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Aaron Eckhart's the best.
Rachel, no. I'm becoming Two-Face.
Yeah, that's the joke that we always would make. No, I'm becoming Two-Face. No.
No.
Not me. If this happens, I'm going to become Two-Face. No.
So, guys, seriously, bring back the fucking lower price tacos. Bring back the fucking tostadas. Make America great again, dude. Mm-hmm. You guys can do it. Not this fucking Cheeto man. Taco Bell can do it. Marvin, I'm trying to get the CEO of Taco Bell to run for president, dude.
No.
Come on, dude.
No.
You can do it, sir.
No, that fucker is going to constantly rotate shit constantly. We don't want that.
Dude. Okay. That's fine, dude.
No, I don't want that.
Let him. As long as he brings back the tacos at 69 cents. They were 59 at one point, then 69. I can compromise. Let's do 69 because it's a nice number. We all love it. We all laugh. And then everyone could feed their family, like we could feed the homeless Taco Bell and we will be great again.
I think what they're going to do
with my monkey army.
I think what they're going to do when they eventually go out of business is they're going to be like,
God, you don't say that, dude. You maybe go out of business because you're going to incorporate into a bigger corporation.
Is there going to be so like, popular. Hey, as our last hurrah, like for the last few months, every item we've ever had is going to be available. It's going to be like the Smash Brothers Ultimate.
The last hurrah will be, here's a bar of all of our ingredients. Make everything you miss.
It's just a bar of ingredients.
It's just... they just open the door to their kitchen with the sign that says
come on in.
You sign up and you're the chef for the day and you can make whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to it. Taco Bell's king. Taco Bell's best.
Yeah, they're not going to go out of business. Yeah. Don't scare us like that.
So basically,
we talk about so much Taco Bell.
They gotta sponsor us, dude. Send us some cool jackets.
They won't.
They should send us those jackets that the kids wear in high school, like a Letterman jacket, but with Taco Bell in the back. It says Taco Bell, or it says
Long Con isn't going to pay off.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. She's in love with Odo. Well, not in love, in lust, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, she's curious. She's curious.
Honestly,
if I was stuck in an elevator with no cameras.
You're going to rub one out?
I mean, how long are we there for? There's nothing to do.
Wait a minute. Have you set up your entire scenario? What else is going on with you in the elevator that you're stuck in?
I mean, if I'm with Odo, I definitely would. Yeah, I would definitely be like,
what's it like?
Yeah, what are we working with? Like, let's.
Yeah.
Marvin and I worked at a place.
Really? Go straight to that just because the elevator stopped?
Our manager got stuck in the elevator for like 45 minutes, an hour.
And one of our producers.
God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
No, in this
I don't
elevator,
think I feel safe going straight to that if I was in an elevator.
You're thinking of another
stopped.
incident, Marvin, but this is just the incident where our manager got stuck. He was alone.
Oh.
And I said, and we were FaceTiming him on our phone, and he's like, I'm stuck. Oh. And so we called the building, and like they were working on getting him out. And I was like, dude, the first thing I'm doing, I'm like, you should piss on the fucking elevator. Because that way you could say I've pissed in this elevator. And if you have to go, you have to go, dude. Yeah.
And no one can hate you for that.
Yeah. And also, like, it's just a really cool thing to say, like, oh, I've pissed in this elevator before. And then you have a great story.
Cool. Very cool.
Story. Yeah.
That's cool. You pissed in this elevator.
He didn't do anything fun. He didn't do anything fun in there. He just wasted.
He was probably just terrified that he's trapped in an elevator.
It's pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
I wish
Billy
that on
Madison
nobody.
would agree that
I've never. It's never happened to me. Knock on wood. But like.
I mean, the incident I was thinking of is as I was walking by the elevators, I heard one of our producers going, "Hello, can anyone help?" And then because the elevator was open by like
was it the producer that we hated?
Yeah, it's the weird one.
Thank you in advance for being a piece of shit.
Thank you in advance. Okay. And then the door was open by half an inch. He's like, "Hello, I'm trapped." And I was like, "Oh my God, you're stuck." Yeah. I went in and I opened the doors. And he was like, "Oh, thank you."
What a hero!
And then he bought you a free lunch that he gets for free. He bought you.
No, he just said, "I'll thank you in advance for saving me from the elevator."
This producer, by the way, I won't say what comic book company he got banned from, but
there's only like two.
Marvin, he was arguing with an elevator guy because he wouldn't use.
I remember. Yeah, I remember. He wasn't allowed in the building anymore because he kept fucking yelling at him, and we were like, "Sir, he's just doing his job. He's asking you to go to the other."
This guy just has a problem with elevators.
Yeah,
like
that's it.
An issue.
Here's the thing: is that I for the next few days I was like, we have to know somebody at this comic book studio, and we gotta call them up and see if we can get us there's got to be security footage of him just going, "Oh, thank you in advance if you just fuck off," and then he got fucking banned. But anyway, back here where they're stuck, and basically he kind of starts opening up a little bit, which he never does, and she's the only one that's ever seen his liquid metal form.
Yeah, she's the only one that's seen him naked.
Here's what I thought was gonna happen. Mm-hmm. I thought she was gonna drink him, and then he was gonna come out later in a bucket. Do you know what I mean? That's what I thought. But they did it way better, which is she kind of goes into her skirt, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Why would drinking him be necessary?
So keep him in one place.
Yeah.
Remember Kira said, careful because you can get shocked or something.
I guess they did put that up as like
Oh,
a threat.
I guess that's true. Yeah, if he poured out, he would have gotten injured. So.
Yeah, they very quickly answered
Sarah
all
was
the questions
immediately
we
like,
all had.
Yeah, because Sarah was immediately like, he could just goo his way out. It'll be fine. And then Kira
No, you
chimes
said
in and
that.
goes,
I knew that they were not. They were smarter
Oh
than
my
that.
God, dude.
Like, you know.
Well, what got
One
me
of
is
you
like
was
when
right.
he like collapsed into his liquid form, I wasn't sure. It's like, how absorbent is that dress? Will he soak through? Will he like still end up on the floor? Because, you know, like how viscous is this?
Maybe she was wearing like a latex, you know, type of dress, like a dominatrix style stuff. Anyway,
maybe it had like a plastic lining.
Yes, for waterworks. And so she basically held him. She held him in his lap while he was liquid, and but he was getting really like melty. It was really crazy to see that. Like,
yeah, it was weird.
Yeah,
had a nice like smear of peanut butter all over his face.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
What was that?
Yeah.
Was that peanut butter?
Yeah.
Was that?
It looked
that was
pretty peanut buttery to me.
Yeah.
I wanted to like just like rub a piece of bread on his face.
I've been that like I've been like really hot, and like it gave me those vibes where I'm like, I hate being that hot, where you're like sweating, you're like, I don't want to be here, dude.
When it's so hot that you're like limiting your own movement on purpose.
Yes. Like you're not even fanning yourself because you're like, that'll take up fucking energy and it'll make me hotter. I'm just gonna sit here and if I don't think, maybe that'll create energy.
Yeah.
And you start at one point. I've been in places where it's so hot that I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start fucking meditating.
You're gonna start meditating.
I'm so angry.
Oh my God. I need to meditate
as a threat.
because I'm so angry.
My defense mechanism is my anger's so fucking high. My anger level's so high that I start meditating, dude.
Oh my God. You must have been desperate.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, if I was a fire starter like that movie, I'd fucking start a fire right now,
so
dude, just to
funny.
fucking prove how fucking angry I am. But anyway, I know the feeling. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And I feel for Odo also, like he was exposing himself. She saw if he was circumcised probably.
Yeah.
But he gets all liquidy and she takes him in and she reveals that she wears a wig. And we're like, man, you weren't fooling anybody.
Yeah.
Well, also they like allude to it throughout the episode because her hair keeps changing color on purpose. So they're
yeah,
kind
but
of
she's
like,
just like, oh, like my brunette hair is so uninteresting. I just was like, oh,
so
I thought they were
ugly.
gonna be like maybe she's suffering from like alopecia or like some kind of like I was like, oh, she just doesn't like having brown hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot of like these
Which she was okay with for most of TNG.
Yeah. It was
I guess
like, oh,
it's
all
weird
right.
because
Like,
it's sort of like the reveal, even though emotionally, the whole scene emotionally, the core of it is that like Odo thinks he needs to have like a very stoic demeanor. And for the first time in his life, he's allowed to be emotionally vulnerable and let go.
Yeah.
And because Lwaxana gives him permission. And like she kind of breaks him down, his like macho defenses, that he can like relax and like let go.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the crux of it. But the trigger of it is the wig, right?
Yeah.
And the wig doesn't make sense in the world of Star Trek because it's like we have hair implants now, right?
Go to Turkey and get yourself as much hair as you want. Yeah.
So like in the future,
here's the thing about their hair implants, Marvin. You can go to Turkey, get ExpressVPN. They're not gonna fucking audit them, dude. Number one, dude. You get your hair implants. Number three, they have probably delicious falafel, dude.
Oh yeah.
And four, you finally answered the question that we've been asking for years. Do they have turkey in Turkey, and do they have a Taco Bell in Turkey? Boom.
I'm
just saying. We should do that. We should all get hair implants, except me because I don't like pain.
But this is a future where
it does look very painful to get.
It's a pretty bloody procedure, etc. But
very
also,
scary.
like,
I've heard that if you do go visit Turkey, like half your plane
mandatory.
Is,
oh, I thought it was like, sir, you're bald. You have to.
No, but like half your plane.
I'm
half or maybe
I'm never gonna go to Turkey.
Quarter. Half or a quarter of your plane will be like men with like hair transplant, like, you know,
bandages on.
Is that what Tobias Funke went?
Probably, dude. No, the technology probably wasn't there yet. Like in Turkey, like just started hitting a stride, dude, with hair implants. I feel like that's all they were studying. They're like, how do we fucking figure this out, dude?
We have to specialize. If we're going to compete with the global economy, we need to specialize.
And like plastic surgery in general. I mean, like women too. Like kind of like when you go to like Miami or Florida or something, like half your plane are like on their knees because of the BBLs and stuff like that. You know.
Well, those people are going to TJ. TJ is like the mecca for fucking BBLs right now, dude.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of getting one.
But basically, my point is that like I don't think she would have like this problem of being able to change hair color or style by having to wear a wig. I feel like you would be able to just be like, I want to make my actual hair this way today, and some sort of machine would just do it. It's just like there's another Gene Roddenberry show called Andromeda. Well, he like envisioned the concept. He didn't like get to like show run it, but he basically created a pitch script for it, and it became a show called Andromeda, starring Kevin Sorbo, piece of shit. But one of the characters there can change her hair color just by kind of like shaking her hair, and she can change it to like from blonde to purple, etc.
Maybe she's using Head and Shoulders like the commercial.
And I'm like, wouldn't that technology exist for Star Trekians as well?
Yeah, dude. You just put your head in the replicator, and they'll just.
Yeah,
well, they need to sit down with what's his name, Mog.
Oh
yeah, the barber, Mog the barber.
Yeah, Mog.
Wait, no, Mog is Worf's dad.
Mogwai is a creature, gremlin.
But yeah, it's a nice emotional moment, but it's just weird.
Can I tell you what I thought they were gonna do?
Yeah,
I honestly thought. Here's what I thought. When she was going to reveal something to him, because he was like, oh, look, I'm not really a man because I turn into water. I'm a water boy.
I'm a monster too. I can't have children.
Well, no, I thought, you know what I thought she was going to do? Was because she's always showing cleavage. So I thought she was going to take out like chicken cutlets and go like, see, like I use these to make my bosom.
Why would it be chicken cutlets? Why wouldn't it be like,
I don't know why I use these. These are such a hazard.
Yeah. They got salmonella on them. She actually uses chicken.
I don't know why you went instantly.
I mean, you said chicken cutlets first.
Yeah. Well, that's what they look like, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Don't they? Isn't that what they call them in the streets?
Yeah.
There?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, sure.
We call them
the inserts
yeah,
on the bras are called chicken cutlets.
What's the street price for some chicken cutlets? I need
Why would there be a street name for it?
But I thought she was gonna do that and go, see, like everyone.
I think that would have been more maybe of an emotional arc than like the hair thing.
She's like the governor of fucking Florida wears lifts, dude. Like everyone fucking does bullshit, dude. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. That would have been truly a good.
Yeah, she takes off her boots, her cowboy boots, and she's got like 5-inch lifts and shit. She's like, I'm really short.
Yeah, exactly.
I just wasn't expecting the wig because, like you said, like it just seems like something you would fix in like a
also
second.
It's like not the same level of like, I mean, again, I was expecting maybe she was like losing her hair or didn't have any, or
it's
maybe
not the
that
same
was the reason
level
for wearing the wig.
Or she took out, she had dentures. She's like, look, I don't have teeth.
Yeah, I don't have any teeth.
Actually, that would have been something where it's like something that's like not just aesthetic.
She's
but
like, can I keep my hands off of fucking chocolate?
Why? Nobody can see the video of you doing it, but you're doing like Zoidberg claws with when you were saying chocolate.
I don't know what that was about.
What the fuck was that about?
I just imagine that like people that really,
I love chocolate like Zoidberg.
I like chocolate.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so it was sweet. The intention was sweet, and I appreciated. I appreciated that they wrote an episode where I didn't hate Lwaxana, and to that, I'm gonna give it a 6 because that was to be honest, when her face showed up, I was like, I did the eye roll and like,
yeah, I was right there with you. I was like, oh fuck no, and then it was like, oh okay, they got the good Lwaxana.
Yeah.
I was like, not today, not tonight, dude. Not tonight, dude.
Not like this.
Not like this.
Well, I actually had a question for everyone. Was it made very clear in the episode whether or not Lwaxana was able to read Odo's mind?
They didn't say.
Oh no, I don't think it was.
I don't think she can. All she thinks about is water. She's like, oh, body water.
Yeah, she didn't really say. I don't know if that's maybe like not really polite.
I would have liked a little more clarity on that front then.
If it's not polite to be with somebody and be like, oh, I can read your mind, but like I'm not
like usually she is upfront about that.
Yeah, he could have said like, well, you know what I'm thinking, and she could have been like, no, I don't, because all I hear is waves when I try to read your mind.
Well, maybe Deanna rubbed off on her, and like she's like, hey, people generally don't like having their minds read without their permission, so maybe like that would have been very like.
Well, I'm kind of getting at that because like if we go back to again the Betazoid stuff or about mind reading and things, like there's a lot of insecurities that we can tap.
Oh yeah,
for Lwaxana the character, when she can read other people's minds and what people think of her behavior.
That's true.
Yeah, which is like why she like kind of covers up, because like there was an episode where she kind of alludes to like, I know how people think of me,
yeah,
and then like so I don't know.
I mean, like it all comes back to like choices about how she chooses to present herself to the world.
I think also it was weirdly a different type of depiction of the way her mind reading works. Because the very first time she mind reads in TNG, it's effortless. Like, it's almost like she can't even control it. It just kind of comes to her. In this episode, she has to, like, stop and concentrate. When Odo says, can you detect any guilt in the room right now? She literally pauses and closes her eyes.
True.
It's as if they changed the way her powers work. Like, it has to be deliberate. Whereas before, it was almost like unintentional, almost. Like, she just randomly grabs thoughts.
Or like she was always reading, like, all the things in front of her at all times.
But effortlessly. Like, she didn't have to exert anything. So that's weird, too. They kind of, like, changed the way she works. Or Betazoids work in general. So that's odd.
Well, I guess we'll need to wait and see if we see any more Betazoids depicted in this show. Or if this depiction travels back with TNG at some point. I don't know.
Was it weird to see her in Deep Space Nine?
She does kind of stick out immediately to be like, oh, it's a kind of a throwback character.
Yeah, but when you think it through, it's like, well, she is an ambassador for a planet, so she can get places.
Yeah.
It made sense, but it's just so weird, like, all the crossover stuff,
There is like a slight excitement just being like, oh, there's a character. Oh, that I recognize from another show, So,
I really do like the scene where like Sisko's giving Odo shit around like being hit on, and he's just come on,
that is a good scene.
Actually, I'm glad you remember that. Yeah. Good thing you brought that
is up. Actually a really good scene where
I was just like, ooh, come on. He's
Sisko's like, have you considered just fucking her?
What's the problem?
Like, what's the big deal? Come on.
Yeah, it's like, this is a good thing.
I in high school, I went to a house party once, and there's this girl who was really annoying, dude, and she was nobody hated her. She was kind of bitchy, and no one hated her. Everyone hated her in school, and she was really popular. But like, kind of imagine like the Mean Girls girl, but everyone found her annoying, and clearly everyone knew she was annoying, but they just kind of dealt with her because she was popular. And I was drunk, and she was drunk, and I don't know how we got to talking. I don't know why the fuck we were talking. And she revealed that she knew that everyone hated her and that she was annoying, but she didn't know any other way to be.
Oh,
and then. And then she tried it, and then the way she got out of that conversation was we just started making out.
Okay.
She bailed. She's like, I got to stop talking about this. Poof.
Oh.
But I never forget that, because I was like, oh, there's so much to dig into here.
Yeah.
That was a raw human moment there.
Yeah, it was. I remember thinking like, if people knew like she like said this to me, like people would like actually change the way they think about her. But now we're just making out.
Yeah, it's
Well, she's doing
things
better
are on
now.
the agenda.
Yeah. Shout out.
That's so funny. Oh my God. I mean, I guess that's it's if you're uncomfortable, that's one way to deal with it.
It could have been also like, I don't remember because I was drunk at the time or high. It could have been also that she was like that was her like defense mechanism,
Yeah.
Like she was,
I mean, a lot of times people's defense mechanisms are to be annoying or abrasive.
Yeah.
Just to get people off their backs, or
I thought
just give you a blowjob,
Yep.
I was
you thought
misinterpreting it.
making out was a defense mechanism.
No. Her attitude was.
No, I was misinterpreting that her like confession to you was the defense mechanism.
Oh no! I
Dan.
Yeah.
Dan,
Where it's
you're
like
so
when I'm
funny.
confronted, I'm like, oh, but I'm no good. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Like everyone have pity for me. That sort of
It definitely
thing.
felt like it slipped because she was.
Yeah.
It was
drunk
the making
or
out
high.
that was the
That was
distract from.
yeah, that was the distract part.
Sympathy restored.
vulnerability.
Yeah,
that was
but I was
being
going to stop her.
expressed.
I was going to be like,
No, of course
wherever this
not.
goes, it goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, for rating, I am with Ricardo. I think I gave it a 6. The other two storylines are terrible.
Yeah.
Like the ambassador storyline is so annoying. It's weird that the other ambassadors are way more annoying than Lwaxana.
That is actually an interesting point because usually she is the worst one.
They are so annoying. Even the Vulcan's really annoying. Like
he's like,
do you think that was like a very strategic move on the writer's part to be like, we need to make Lwaxana look good?
Yes.
Maybe that could be. Or maybe it's like, hey, it turns out every ambassador is annoying. Lwaxana.
That's one of the qualities we look at for ambassadors.
Yeah.
You should see the other guys.
So that's one thing. And the puppy storyline is just terrible. So boring.
Garbage.
Anytime you cut back to it and you're like watching Miles O'Brien do this techno babble and you're like, this is
and there's no visual component to it either.
It's the most boring footage in the world.
You know what? I take it back. This is a 5. This is a 5.
Well, one of the things is I do like that it is actually significant Odo character development. Like for such a throwaway storyline, it really is like the first time he's allowing himself to lower his stoicism and be vulnerable. And Lwaxana is actually a good catalyst for it, which I think is like neat. It would have been actually kind of great if they made a good whole episode where they're just trapped in an elevator. I think that would have been way better.
Yeah, there's some Eva music on it.
But because of the other stuff, and you mentioned the scene with Cisco, that's also a good scene, but it's also like horribly edited. Like they're just cutting right as their lines end back and forth. It's like the most boring type of dialogue editing. And it's like, it's
they may
really
not have been
on.
in the same.
Yeah, Sarah was mentioning
while recording that.
Yeah, they're shot in such close-ups that it's very possible that they weren't even shooting together that day. So
it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah,
I also think too, like, I guess I didn't realize up until this point when Odo was turning into a liquid, it appeared that it was maybe painful for him. And I guess I didn't know if it was uncomfortable or like he felt like he was like wincing in pain. And I'm like, oh, is it painful?
Well, to keep solid. The pain was the pain and the difficulty was to stay solid.
Yeah, he was just straining to maintain his form because he was so afraid of being vulnerable and letting go.
I guess I didn't realize that would be painful.
Well, think about clenching your butthole for fucking 16 hours, dude.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I think
why did I know that was coming next? I knew that was coming.
Well, you'd be sweating at
the butthole.
Imagine 16 hours. Imagine 16 hours of clenching your butthole. You'd be sweating at the end too. You're like, oh, I gotta fucking let go.
But I think we forget that his natural form is not the human form. So he has to like actively try to hold that the entire day. So that is why it is.
But why would it hurt? I guess it hurts more towards the end.
Well, he's just running out of energy.
Imagine he's trying to hold anything, like smiling for fucking 16 hours.
Yeah, so I think that's why. Yeah, I think he's just physically straining.
You need to relieve yourself. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I guess.
Like,
wow.
Maybe is it? I don't know. Just anything that is slightly uncomfortable you do over a long period of time in a day. Like wearing an uncomfortable pair of shoes.
Yeah. No, I get it, Dan. Especially recently. I get it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I get it.
Think about people that have butt plugs on all day. They're straining at the end of the day.
Yeah, that demographic.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of that demographic in here.
Can't wait to let go.
Yeah. Very relatable, I guess you could say. But I give it a 6, I think, for my rating. All for the similar reasons that have been listed already. I think it's
too.
really it's nice, but those other storylines were just so
too many
bad. The puppy thing was just I felt really bad for Miles
The actor that he had to say those lines?
Yeah, he just had to like do this awful storyline of this like, well, what if it's a puppy? And I'm like,
what if I build him a doghouse and it'll like, can I take care of it, Cisco? And it's like, it's like so actually cringy. Boring. Like
it was so weird, and I don't know why they did that, but you know what? It's okay. One of the other storylines was okay, and that's why I give it a 6.
Yeah,
for now.
Genuinely great acting too from both of them, from Renee and Majel Barrett. Good job.
Yeah.
Oh, and also shout outs to the little callback to a previous episode of TNG where she's like, also one time I was abducted on a Ferengi ship with my daughter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I jacked him off.
Right. And was that when they were naked?
Yeah. It's when they teleported them over naked. Yeah.
Right.
Remember she fucked one of the Ferengi?
And true to that episode, she downplays the whole situation.
Yeah.
It's true.
She's like, it was fine.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I jacked him off a few times. Yeah.
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 Good experience for my daughter.
Yeah. Oh, that little one. Always going to be my little girl. Forever.
Oh, my gosh.
So, Dan, you gave it a 6 as well. So,
I'm a 5.
If we go to the Discord rating, so technically the winning score was an 8. But if you look at the averages, it's more of like a 7.5. So it's more of like a 7.5.
What the hell?
That's
like when I'm thinking about Odo, I'm willing to notch it up by 0.5.
I think it's because
no, not me.
I think everyone weighs the Lwaxana like sentimentality higher. Like maybe because we just watch it so freshly and we're like, actually, that's like a very small part of the episode. But if you remember it in retrospect, everything else is so boring, you probably would have forgotten it and only remember the Lwaxana part.
True.
But in reality, it's probably, I think it's less than a third of the episode where
it feels like it's a lot more, dude.
I know, but it should be a lot more, but I think it's actually a very small part of the episode. So I think that's why, in hindsight, a lot of people rate it a little higher.
I think
just a little higher.
Yeah,
people love Odo,
and Odo. Yeah, it's an Odo specific
love liquid
plot.
metal, and they love chicken cutlets.
I like Odo.
Yeah, Odo's great.
I mean, I like Odo, but I'm not willing to like him blindly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just said you would fuck him in an elevator if you were stuck together.
Dude. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with liking him in this blindly. That's for science. That's not.
Oh, for science.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I see.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's why is it called the Forsaken?
I don't know.
It's called the foreskin, actually. You're pronouncing it incorrectly.
Yeah. Forsaking me.
Yeah.
Someone loves System of a Down.
Yeah.
They did originally try to name it after a song. So the original working title for the episode was Ghost in the Machine, which is obvious. But then a later working title was Only the Lonely, which is apparently named after a song by Roy Orbison.
Oh, I love Roy Orbison. Yeah.
Yeah. So
nice.
Only the Lonely fits a little better.
Yeah.
And then they settled on Foreskin.
Yeah. and I guess it was also part of it is that it's intentionally a bottle. Like apparently this was we need to save money episode. So that's why a lot of the plot is like, let's just put him in an elevator and then just talk.
And then blow money on like pyrotechnics and things like that, or what? Like,
I think just other season. Like remember like the fucking Al Moraine episode? That apparently was really expensive, so they need to save money on other episodes.
No, but you're right, Sarah. They did spend money on all those fire effects for the hallway this episode.
But wasn't that like legit. It looked like a plug-in effect just shooting through the hallway. It didn't look like very good. It looked kind of terrible, actually.
I thought it looked like maybe a practical effect to some extent, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I
don't know for sure either. Yeah.
Watching that, I don't know.
Well, I think maybe the actual explosion parts were fake, but was there any actual practical fire on set? Maybe not.
Oh, it looks like there is in the background.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so there.
Not the explosion, but like while they're kind of with it in the background there, it looks practical, but I don't know.
I've never worked on a set with fire. You don't think it's practical? Do you think it's like a projector?
Yeah.
Like they're projecting a fire?
Yeah, because it's also like just it looks like the camera's still, so they could just double up on the shot. And
No, the camera is not still. It is moving like crazy. No, it is moving like crazy.
I definitely don't think it's practical.
Well, I mean, I think it is because you're also seeing flickering that like changes the lighting on the ceiling. Like it's actually like would be really difficult to comp it in like that.
I mean, if you're on a set, it's not that hard to do.
I mean, this is the same show that actually lit like a house on fire on a set. So
yeah, but they also just put gaffer's tape and left it there. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Either could have happened.
Yeah,
they can both can be true.
It's the Swearingen's cat. What is it called? The cat's dead and the cat's alive.
Yeah.
Oh, Swearingen.
Yeah, what's his name?
Schrodinger's cat.
That guy.
Although that's a misconception, Schrodinger's cat was meant to be a metaphor for why he thinks quantum mechanics is ridiculous.
Dude? No one cares.
Not real.
No one cares, dude. His cat is dead and his cat is alive. Let him have his cat, dude. What are you coming in here with the misconceptions, dude? Let him live.
But all right, that's the foreskin. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Why have you forsaken me?
No, why have you foreskin me? That's why.
Yeah,
it's about a son yelling at his mom about circumcising him as a baby.
Why did you circumcise me?
Why have you foreskin me?
I'm so sorry, listeners.
If you like what we do, hopefully you've liked what we're doing.
Childish behavior.
Give us a like or a rating or a review wherever you are on like Spotify or YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Podcast Addict or wherever you are. Also, check out our merch store. Head on over to fugitiveframes.store. Got some t-shirts up there. I know I'm working on designs for it's been you know why? Because we recorded a lot of interesting new episodes. One of which was our interview with Brent Black, aka Brental Floss, which should have been out by the time this episode comes out, which is, that was neat. That was a neat thing we did, interviewing Brental Floss.
Great person.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Very interesting man.
And another interview is actually on the way. So that one will also be a doozy. You guys will see.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we interviewed Val Kilmer after he died.
On his deathbed, we went to his house.
Well, you said a doozy, dude. It brought me. Let me fucking.
Okay. A doozy. That's fair. Yeah. That would be a goddamn doozy.
Yeah. And also, we have both a Patreon and a YouTube membership. Both basically offer the same benefits. It's $1.99 a month.
Yeah.
And they get you early access to new episodes.
That's cheaper than a cup of coffee, dude.
Yes, legitimately. Yeah. It's
especially if the coffee's imported and it's got some tariffs on it. That coffee's now $10.
Yep.
$20.
Yeah.
Have tariffs affected our membership prices?
No, they have not.
I was gonna say the same, dude.
No matter what, they will be $1.99.
The nation of newbie Star Trek.
Actually, that makes me. There is a PSA, I should say. Do not sign up for any Patreon, including our own, on an Apple device. If you do, there will be an Apple tax on it because Apple wants a fucking cut of every transaction within every app on their phone, which means they add a little bit of extra to pay every month. Which is bullshit. No, they don't. They're a $1 trillion company.
You know what I found out, dude? I know somebody that works. I know somebody that works for Apple TV, and I'm like, do they like, because they have like nice offices? I'm like, do they have free apples, like as a fruit, like actual fruit that they have in the cafeteria? And she's like, they don't have fucking apples.
Wow.
So I was very upset about that.
Yeah.
They're the one thing you should have in the fucking cafeteria.
Yet another thing to be furious at Apple about.
Yeah. Dude.
Not only that, if they have apples, they better be rainbow.
Yeah.
No, they're probably like
they get multiple apples from the store of different colors. They slice them up perfectly and they stack them into the different.
No, what they do
I demand.
Someone takes a bite out of each apple, dude, so they can match the logo.
Yeah, and at the end, once it's like all assembled, they take a bite. So that's a perfect little thing. But yeah, that's don't sign up for Patreon on your iPhone. Go to the website or on your friend's Android phone, superior Android phone, and do that.
they're not superior, dude. At all.
They don't have to pay extra to sign up on Patreon. So
here's the thing, dude. I'm just saying.
You have
it's just recourse. The one that won't rip you off right now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you're going to get ripped off somewhere. At least they're being honest about it. They're like, hey, we're going to rip you off, dude.
Sure.
They are.
There's been other perks on the way. Yeah, access to the members only Discord, etc. So yeah, check out, go to patreon.com/newbie Star Trek, or you can see the links in our description for the membership and the Patreon. So you check that out. And also, if you guys ever want to send us an email, you can always email us at contact@newbiestartrek.com. That's contact@newbiestartrek.com. This week is from a fellow named Joaquin, and I think this is an interesting one. So,
you mean Joaquin?
Joaquin. Hello, guys. My name is Joaquin, and I'm from Argentina. First of all, I'm obviously not a native speaker, so a friend is helping me write this to you. However, she's also not a native speaker, so we may be writing in Klingon for all I know.
Oh my God.
It's that meme. Sorry for poor English, but it's the best English ever.
That being said, I'm currently listening to season 4, episode 7, and heard that you were wondering what was Star Trek TNG like when it was being broadcasted in other countries. I'm not sure if someone else from Argentina already told you, but fuck it, I'll tell you my version. I started TNG with my mother after watching Star Trek Into Darkness, but we didn't get past half of season 1. It's literally garbage. She vaguely remembered watching some episodes when she was younger. So when the J.J. Abrams movies were released, we saw them in the cinema. At that point, I was 14, and I had no clue that Star Trek existed at all. I remember asking some friends, and all they knew about it were references in other series like The Simpsons, Futurama, and The Big Bang Theory. So I asked my uncle, who knows a lot about TV shows. He told me that when TNG was released in Argentina, we had recently been under a military government and had also been at war against Britain and Chile. So nobody really gave a fuck about a bald guy who fucks planets of aliens with weird foreheads. In addition to that, during the first season, the new legitimate government had been at court with the military forces for the atrocities and crimes committed during the dictatorship and was experiencing the retaliations of having no control over the military, marines, and police authorities. As people were more concerned by that, by the time season 2 was released, my uncle remembers only a few were really committed to Star Trek. Also, many Argentinian soap operas were more popular at that time. On a different topic, personally, I've recently finished the first season of Strange New Worlds and decided to start TNG as I finished all the new series and I needed to understand Picard. But again, I couldn't get past half of season 1 until I found you. You made the show funny and I really enjoy listening to you while I commute or study. I share your feelings towards the war criminal known as Wesley and the treacherous death pill pusher, Dr. Crusher. I miss Dr. Pulaski. She is the doctor I hope to become one day. Anyways, thanks for this amazing podcast. I'm sorry if my English is too bad. Your English was very good.
There it is.
Oh my God. What a great email. Thank you
so much.
That's
Argentina?
interesting.
Let me tell you something about Argentina.
Okay.
Argentina. I'm too high.
Trying to be British.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Guys, they have delicious fucking steaks over there, dude. I don't know what they're doing with the beef.
They do.
Oh yeah,
delicious fucking steaks, dude.
Oh yeah, the grocery store right near us. Sometimes they have specials on Argentinian steaks specifically, like New York strip, and I'm like, ooh, and it's like well marbled. It's grass fed. It's delicious.
Would they call it a bistec?
Yeah, I think so. They would call it a bistec as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to Argentina, or as I call it, Argentina.
I think it is fascinating that you hadn't even heard of Star Trek. That's really interesting.
Well, they were fighting a fucking war, dude. What are you talking about? It doesn't make sense. It makes perfect sense.
No,
I can stay alive, Marvin.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I just said I found it fascinating. I need to say it doesn't make sense.
Too busy trying to stay alive. You know,
too busy trying to stay alive, dude.
How could you not know about Star Trek during your military occupation?
It reminds you of, you haven't seen Death Note.
What do you mean?
Shout out to
Death Note would have been really useful during your military dictatorship.
Yeah. the goddamn the trivia alone would have saved, Argentina.
Well, Joaquin, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's actually really elucidating to know what other countries, how they experience Star Trek. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it is interesting.
If you live in another country or even have a different experience from Argentina, feel free to tell us.
Argentina, dude. Come on.
I'm sorry, Argentina. My
Put some
bad.
respect on that shit, dude.
God damn. I'm sorry.
I guess we do take it for granted that I feel like there's a lot of pop culture in America that we assume a lot of other countries will have, unless it's Asia. I think like implicitly we just realize Asia has a different pop culture, but I think we just kind of assume every other country that has a similar pop culture.
I don't.
I think a lot of Americans do, and then like it's.
I think a lot of Americans do, but I just feel like I visited Mexico too much to know like
Dragon Ball's a constant.
Yeah.
We can at least all unite around Dragon Ball.
And Simpsons is also a constant. Everyone knows like Simpsons.
There's
references.
a few things that we can all get behind.
Yeah, and you go to South America, Max Steel, like Pogs, like that's the shit down there, you know, compared to like here, Max Steel was barely a thing. So King of Fighters, you know, that's the game of choice.
UFC
for Latin America.
People will knife each other over playing Rugal.
Yeah, we were just seeing that today. Dan and I.
Hope he's okay.
Yeah, shout out to the steaks in Argentina.
Shout out to the steaks.
Just the steaks. Yeah.
Yeah, just and
shout out to the
Joaquin.
steaks in Argentina.
Well,
anyway,
thank you.
Hopefully, you don't kill as many people as the Wesley and his war crime mother. Hopefully, the school works out for you.
Yeah.
And
Good luck.
I hope you're like Pulaski.
Yeah, I mean, if you are following the path of Pulaski, you will end up being one of the most decorated doctors ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just don't be like Beverly and tell a child if you grow up.
Yeah.
Please don't. Yeah. Please don't do that.
All right, guys.
If you guys like what we do, head on over to fugitiveframes.com. You know, we got links to all the stuff we do, including the Would You Stay Tuned podcast. Maybe by the time this episode comes out, we'll have our Twin Peaks episode up by then. I don't know. It depends on the bandwidth. We don't know for sure. Yeah.
Maybe.
So if not, spoilers, we have a Twin Peaks episode coming up.
Oh my God. 2 Peaks. 2 Peaks, 1 David.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. But next episode of Would You Stay Tuned? The next episode of Newbie Star Trek.
God damn it, dude, you're so high, dude.
We're going back to TNG, and it's an episode called Second Chances. Second Chances for who?
I don't
That's not
believe in
generic.
second chances.
Go see Second Chances.
Yeah, we'll see. But until then, goodbye, everyone. Stay safe.
Yes. Until then, don't cry for me, Argentina.
Take care, y'all.
Bye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.